Good morning, my name's Jonathan from Mental Help. I've not done a video for a little bit of time because I've been having a rest. However, I'm back in action. Well, as much action as you can get sitting still here doing this. Normally when something falls off the table, that's about as much action as you're going to see. So I'm looking to do a kind of tutorial on how I am starting to tackle and beat and cope with my OCD. Only some parts of it. There's other parts that are very hard and still very, very much a challenge. But what I've learnt so far, I think I can start to put down into a workshop or a tutorial or guide. And I'm even considering booking a room and doing, for anybody who's in the West Midlands area who wants to come along, kind of a seminar, or I'm not really quite sure what it's called, but maybe sort of a 7-week course where we spend an hour together and informally discuss the various different types of OCD we have and start to create a worksheet and a workbook and a plan to overcome and learn some coping mechanisms that really do work. Because nearly 50 now, and all my life I've had OCD, and it's only the last 12 years I've been diagnosed and understood it to be a medical condition, or whatever you want to call it. And it's really only since, well, it's only really over this last year I've started to really be very determined about putting some ERP, exposure response prevention, methods in action, and CBT, which is cognitive behaviour therapy. And some of the things have started to work, and I am going to keep persevering with them, but I do want to share them with other people because I think it will encourage you, I think it will help you, it will certainly encourage me to see other people starting to do battle with OCD. And more importantly, I think we owe it to ourselves, don't we, to help each other along this path against the fight against our main bully, our adversary called OCD. I think we need to start to recognise what OCD actually is. And OCD is not our fault. It's something that's neurological, it's hardwired into the brain, and it's firing off whatever they are called. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't know all the special terms. I don't really care, to be honest. I know what OCD does to me. And unlike some of the doctors and the therapists that you listen to who will go through sort of a fairly laborious, you've got to do this and then that will achieve this result, they haven't actually got OCD. And I've noticed listening to them, they are qualified and incredibly knowledgeable, but they're lacking the one thing. And that's the only one thing that I've got, is they don't suffer from OCD and they don't have the experience of suffering it. And I might not know all the big words and understand how all the chemicals go together, but I know what it feels like. And let's face it, if you suffer OCD, you know what it feels like as well. And sometimes therapists and doctors can seem somewhat detached from the real, genuine feelings of despair and feeling overcome that we suffer because we are actually going through it. And I think that's very relevant to the struggle. I want to write a book called Scrambled Egg, and it just came into my head last night. I'm going to start to it's going to be a very easy to read book because I'm writing it for a start. It's going to be a very short book and hopefully a helpful book with a little bit of humour, and it's going to be in layman's terms, isn't it? Because I'm writing it. It's not going to be, you know, you read some books and they're on about I can't even say the words. They're just big and complicated. But I'm going to put it into a very, very basic and simplified way of understanding it, mainly for myself, really. So I'm going to do that. So a couple new things I'm planning on doing is starting a workshop for people. It's going to be free. I'm going to pay for it all. I'm going to pay for the room, pay for the refreshments. You might get bourbons, you know, custard creams, you never know. And I'm going to do that all myself so that anyone can come along for free and take something away from that, and hopefully we'll build a bigger community of people who are struggling, and you may within that community find friends that you can get to know, and you can then talk to people in your own age range, whatever. Might not be, doesn't matter, does it really? But I found that it's good to have other people who are suffering and struggling to encourage you, because they really know what it's like, and when they're having a good day, you might be having a low day, and they can build you up. So that's what's coming over the next however many weeks and months ahead of us. I'm also going to start to try to put a plan in action so that you can watch these videos one after the other. They'll be on a playlist, and maybe tackle one a day and start to try to see if you can get some results. The great thing about these is that you're going to be able to do them as regularly as you'd like to, or not. If you want to do one a week, then fine. I think one thing that's very important to illustrate and to point out is that OCD isn't going to go away, and I know that from personal experience. It generally is going to get worse, and medication does help, lots of things help, but it is a battle, and a battle against an enemy that is our brain misfiring. So we need to do some hard work, and we need to be dedicated, and if we're not willing to do that, we might as well just carry on as we are until things have got so bad that we're really crying out for help and really just say, I've had enough, I'm really desperate. Another good thing about working hard on this that I have learned is that by putting these plans and these steps in practice to defeat, or to at least learn to cope with OCD's awful debilitating feelings that we get, actually gives us some life tools to deal with other things such as diet, discipline, exercise, other things. Because if we do nothing positive about our mindset, then we will eat what we want, watch what we want, do nothing healthy, because we're lazy generally and we like that lifestyle. It's easy, isn't it? But by doing some of these steps that I'm going to take you through, you'll learn, and I've started to learn, that you're then able to apply some of these disciplines to things such as diet and other things like exercise, and things that you thought that you might really never be able to manage or get motivated about doing. So we're looking at making a positive step forward into the future to make our lives better. And I expect the majority of you are younger than me, so it's never too late, is it? And I'm really, really excited to work at it, because I want to get my life back, and I want to have, I don't think I've ever really had my life. I think it's always been burdened by these things, but I'm excited to learn how to cope. And some of the positive things that I've taken over this last 6 months is that I can make positive changes, and I can overcome and learn to cope with something that I never thought I could. All baby steps. I mean, first section, the first hurdle, the first whatever, but I've got over it, and I want to help you to get over it so that we can then, just do better. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to carry on and do more in a minute, so you'll be able to watch that in the next video. Please subscribe. I've got quite a few subscribers now, and they're really important, because I can see that people are finding the videos helpful, and they must want to improve their struggle with mental health in one way or another, because to subscribe means that you would like to see some more videos, and I'm going to try not to let you down. I'm going to try to do more videos, and sometimes I really struggle. Last 2 months I've been struggling, so that's why I haven't been doing any videos, because life isn't particularly easy for anybody. So thanks again, and I'll speak to you in a minute in the next video. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.